Mine Workers Development Agency has handed out beekeeping equipment in KwaZulu-Natal and the Western Cape. This equipment is said to be worth more than R1 million. The agency is hoping to create an environment where beekeeping becomes not only an educational endeavor, but what it believes will be a journey of resilience, growth and shared accomplishment. For more on this, Mine Workers Development Agency's Head of Strategy and Special Projects, Luthando Brukwe, joins us now in studio. Good afternoon, sir. Thanks for coming through. And thank you for your patience while we were wrapping up what was happening in the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court.
Good afternoon, Braden, and thanks for having us.
It's a beautiful story. It's a sweet story, so to speak, if I may use that term. Beekeeping in South Africa, is it big?
Currently, South Africa is importing more than 60% of honey that we are consuming. And we know the honey market has actually grown. When we look at honey, we call it liquid gold, that we want our communities to actually utilize in order to provide socio-economic development.
Okay, tell us more about this project that you're involved with. You're supporting beekeepers in KZN and the Western Cape.
This is a 3-year project that we started way back, where we have identified beekeepers in Eastern Cape, KZN, Free State, Limpopo, across the country. This year, we've started with Western Cape, and recently, as last week, we handed over 450 beehives in communities in northern KwaZulu-Natal, that is your Hluhluwe areas in Mkhayagude district. And we are encouraging our communities to practice beekeeping, honey production, where the Mine Workers Development Agency also provides an offtake for the honey that they will be producing for 85 Rand per kilogram.
Mine Workers Development Agency beekeeping project, is it targeted at mining communities or communities not far from mining areas, or is it targeted at people who have got links with the mining sector?
The Mine Workers Development Agency, Braden, was formed in 1987. At that time, the specific focus was looking after former mine workers who went back to homelands where, after their dismissals in the mine, the National Union of Mine Workers developed the MDA in order to provide socio-economic development, to augment the loss of income. And these initiatives speaks to that. But over the years, the MDA has worked with communities, because you can't isolate the former mine workers from the communities. We work in host communities. But specifically for beekeeping, beekeeping also speaks of forage, where bees are actually pollinating from various. So communities that we are working on, in the KZN mainly, we are linked to the forestry part where subtropical honey is produced, but there's lots of gum trees and various.
So how big now is this project, and what are your goals?
The project, we now standing at 7,200 beehives distributed throughout the country. We're working with various partners. Thank you to the First Rand Empowerment Foundation, which is one of our eNCA partners with the Mine Workers Investment Company. We have been able to reach communities in Yongushwa in the Eastern Cape, Mbashe Municipality, Raymond Mhlaba Municipality. We have gone to the Western Cape, where we've gone to Grabo, Hopefield, Mamre, Paarl. We've even in the Northern Cape have gone to Kuruman, Kaimos. These are the areas that are far-flung that we are operating. The aim is to ensure that not only are we providing the skill, beekeeping is also assisting with pollination, because it assists within the food security chain. But most of all, we are able to provide a sustainable income for our people.
Yeah, so I guess this will be in the small-scale farming kind of sector. How many tons of honey do you think they'll be able to produce?
In terms of the 7,200 beehives, each beehive is producing a minimum of 10 kilograms per quarter, and it's producing about 40 kilograms a year. So each of our participants, we have been able to give a minimum of 10 beehives. And what is also important, Braden, is all of our beneficiaries, a minimum of 50% are all female-led. The MDA has seen, whether it is in our wool growers support that we're doing, women are actually in the far front in leading these programs. So we are looking at producing about 20,000 beehives in the next 3 years, where we are looking at producing about 280 million in terms of honey, and augmenting the 60% that we are importing.
Yeah, so we can consume our own. I mean, we have beautiful weather. It should pretty much be straightforward business in terms of beekeeping for us to produce our own organic honey.
Indeed, in terms of what we encourage, not only from a food security point of view, but also the income that raw honey is able to get. The MDA has, when we have observed the market out there, our primary producers are not getting the better off of the stick. That's why we are saying the minimum from a gate price, whether you are in Eastern Cape, whether you are in KZN, whether you are in Limpopo, in Vembe district, you will get 80 rand per kilogram. That's a gate price. The MDA will then augment the transportation, and then the bottling and the packaging, we will then take it from there. But what is important for us is to ensure that the primary producers are protected. South Africa consumes the honey that we are producing ourselves across various areas.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll keep on chatting to you as the future goes on. I mean, it's a big target, the 800 tons of honey from small-scale farmers over the next 3 years, and good luck. And it's good to hear that at least 50% of the beneficiaries are female women. So women empowerment is very close as well to the MDA. Thank you very much. Luthando Brukwe of the Mine Workers Development Agency. In fact, he's the head of strategy and special projects. Now, still ahead.